ओके, गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन। सो आज हम टॉपिक पढ़ेंगे दैट इज लाइफ प्रोसेस। फर्स्टली वी हैव टू बी अंडरस्टैंड द व्हाट इज लाइफ प्रोसेस। ऑल द थिंग्स which require my body to maintain itself and repair as well are called life process. This is a simple definition of a life process in which we have to be focused about those life process which is actually into the NCERT of class 10, that is nutrition, digestion, excretion and respiration as well. So I am going to take in first nutrition. Nutrition. In simple language, if I have to be say what is nutrition, that is intake of a food to obtain energy from it. सिर्फ इनटेक से ही हम उसको न्यूट्रिशन नहीं कह सकते, उससे जब तक हमें एनर्जी नहीं मिलेगा तब तक हम उसको न्यूट्रिशन नहीं कंसीडर कर सकते। तो इट इज इन वन ऑफ द लाइफ प्रोसेस व्हिच इज एक्चुअली गिविंग अस एन एनर्जी टू डू वेरियस मेटाबॉलिक प्रोसेस इन आवर बॉडी टू मेंटेन इटसेल्फ एंड रिपेयर इटसेल्फ। सो न्यूट्रिशन जनरली आर ऑफ टू टाइप, ऑटोट्रोपिक and heterotropic. Auto means self. In biology, if you have to be focused about a word, then you can get a definition from the word itself, such as auto means self and tropic means nutrition. Those organisms which does not require or which does not depend on another word and can maintain or can obtain their food by itself, such as plants. Plants do autotrophic nutrition by the help of a process called photosynthesis. What is photosynthesis? If we are talking about a photosynthesis, photo means light, synthesis means formation. In presence of a light, plant make their own food or obtain their food by the using of raw materials such as CO2 and H2. So if we have to define the photosynthesis, it is a process by which plant trap solar energy and convert into chemical energy by using raw materials such as CO2 and H2O. So if we have to be write the equation of photosynthesis, then it is CO2 plus H2O. H is in a symbol of sunlight, and it will obtain, and we will obtain in a carbohydrate molecule, that is glucose. And oxygen has to be liberated, which has to be normally inspired by the another animals. So if we are talking about, this is a just photosynthesis process by which plant obtain their output. That's why it is called an autotrophic mode of nutrition. Autotrophic mode of nutrition is just not in a photosynthesis. There are another autotrophic mode of nutrition is also there. That is chemosynthesis. This is done by many microbes such as sulfur bacteria. Such as plant trapping the sunlight and obtain their food. Similarly, this bacteria is using the sulfur or which we call as a chemical and obtain their food. That's why it is called as chemosynthesis. Now we are focusing about the heterotrophic mode of nutrition. If we have to be say heterotrophic mode of nutrition, सच एज हम एग्जांपल ले सकते हैं एक स्टूडेंट और एक जो भी मतलब नॉर्मली एक चाइल्ड है आर नॉट एबल टू मेक देयर ओन फूड सो दे आर कॉल्ड एज एन हेटरोट्रोपिक सिंस ऑल एनिमल्स आर कॉल्ड एज एन हेटरोट्रोपिक बिकॉज दे आर नॉट एबल टू प्रोड्यूस इट्स ओन फूड such as so how we have to define heterotrophic mode of nutrition those organisms which depend for energy you can say or food directly or indirectly on autotrophs such as plants. So heterotrophic mode of nutrition वो नहीं होते सिर्फ जो प्लांट्स पे डिपेंड करेंगे वो भी होते हैं जो दूसरे एनिमल पे डिपेंड करेंगे तो डायरेक्टली और इनडायरेक्टली दे हैव टू बी डिपेंडेंट ऑन द autotrophs. That's why they are called as a heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Out of three of types, first one is parasitic, second holozoic, and third one is saprophytic. So I'm just going to take one of the point here, that is parasitic. As you are aware about the parasites that is actually depend or feed on any other organism for obtain their food. So parasitic are of those type of nutrition in which these organisms release some chemicals so that organic matter convert into inorganic this is not a parasitic, this is a saprophytic, in which an organism is normally releasing some kind of chemical so that organic matter convert into inorganic one and then they just absorb energy. Such as decomposers, bacteria and some another organism. Scavengers are also known as normally pollution. You can say scavenger is also for sometimes student think that they are saprophytes, but they are different actually because in which the digestion is totally internal as where we have to be seen in the saprophytic. The digestion is totally external. See, now I am going to take the holozoic mode of nutrition. Holozoic. in which an organism intake whole food, and that means organic, and their breakdown or digestion have to be occur internally, or in other words, if we have to be say, digestion is occur internally. Once the digestion is complete, then they will get the energy from it. Such as example of amoeba and humans. So we have one flow chart of amoeba in the NCERT also, in which amoeba, since it is a single cellular organism and it does not have a true feet. So how it have to be placed is a food particles. So these are called food particles, amoeba. So why the process of endocytosis? These food particles have to be digested by the amoeba itself by creating a false feed that we call as pseudopodia. Once the amoeba create the pseudopodia, the food particles enter inside and a food vacuole has to be formed. This food vacuole, once the food vacuole has to be formed, digestive enzymes has to be act on this food particle so that it can be digested completely internal the amoeba body, and then it have to be excrete out the food particles. That is called digested particles, digested food or excretory food. So here, if you have seen there, normally the holozoid nutrition are those nutrition in which digestion is totally internal by some kind of an enzymes, by some kind of a chemical, but occur inside of the body. Now, moving towards the last topic, that is parasitic. Parasitic is actually similar to holozoid type of mode of nutrition, in which organism depends on another organism and directly take a fluid from which energy is obtained. They not killing the organism. पैरासाइट कभी भी ऑर्गेनिज्म को किल नहीं करता जब तक वो पूरी की तरह से अंदर से खोखला ना हो जाए. नॉर्मली पैरासिटिक की अगर हम बात करें, एक टाइप ऑफ होलोजोइक मोड ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन की तरह भी फॉलो होता है. डाइजेशन इसमें क्या है, डाइजेशन ना तो इंटरनली हो रहा है ना एक्सटर्नली हो रहा है, ये डायरेक्टली एक फ्लूइड को नॉर्मली सक आउट कर रहे हैं फ्रॉम द बॉडी ऑफ द ऑर्गेनिज्म, जिससे वो उससे एनर्जी डायरेक्टली ले लेते हैं, ऑन विच दे डिपेंड्स called host and these organisms are called parasites. So those organisms which are following this type of mode of nutrition are called parasitic mode of nutrition. Such as example, if you have to be take cuscuta, which is an amarbe of plant, it is a plant parasite. Leaves, tapeworm, lukewarm. Lots of worms are there which are acting as a parasite. तो parasites की अगर हम बात करें, parasites भी दो तरीके के हैं, एक जो एक्सटर्नल बॉडी में रहते हैं, एक जो इंटरनल बॉडी में रहते हैं. एक्सटर्नल जो प्रेजेंट रहेगा दैट आर कॉल्ड एज एन एक्टोपैरासाइट. जो इंटरनल प्रेजेंट रहेगा उसको हम बोलेंगे एंडोपैरासाइट. They internally damage the organism complete so that they can obtain their energy, and they are not living. They are not living independently. They have to be needed. They are requiring in a host so that they get energy from. There is a topic miss here, and one is that is saprophytic. Saprophytic में we have to be say that it depends. Dead and decaying organic matter. Saprophytic mode of nutrition वो ऑर्गेनिज्म फॉलो करते हैं जो डिपेंड करते हैं डेड और डिकेइंग ऑर्गेनिज्म पे. यानी ऐसे ऑर्गेनिज्म जो ऑलरेडी डेड हो रहे हैं, जैसे इफ यू हैव सीन इन द फॉरेस्ट लॉग पड़ा रहता है और वो नॉर्मली सड़ रहा है, या कोई ऑर्गेनिज्म का डेथ हो गया है तो ठीक है वो डिकम्पोज हो रहा है, तो ये सैप्रोफिटिक मोड ऑफ न्यूट्रिशन उस पर डिपेंड करता है. स्कैवेंजर्स भी यही करते हैं. स्कैवेंजर्स डिपेंड नहीं रहते, लेकिन स्कैवेंजर्स में डाइजेशन टोटली इंटरनल. दे आर आल्सो डिपेंड ऑन द डेड एंड डिकेइंग ऑर्गेनिज्म स्कैवेंजर्स, बट द डाइजेशन इज टोटली इंटरनल इन द स्कैवेंजर्स. सो मैं अपना टॉपिक यहीं पे रखता हूँ. थैंक यू सो मच.